What's up, everyone? I'm Dr. Christian Conte, and this is my wife, Kristen. And we were thinking about if we were going to make a video to help people who are in quarantine and in more close proximity than maybe what they're used to, then how do you do it? How do you deal with your loved ones? And we can think at first, this is we're going to spend time together, we're going to be together. But then the reality kicks in that we're in close proximity and fights emerge. So in this video, Kristen and I are going to talk to you about what we believe can be helpful for you as you go through this very difficult time. So stay tuned. Okay, so when we decided to make this video, we each said, let's go our separate ways and figure out 3 things that we think are really important for people to hear. So I came up with 3 things. You came up with 3 things.
You did, yes.
I'll start.
Sure.
You want?
Gentlemen first.
All right. So the first thing I would say is this. Recognize that your mind wants to match your body.
That's a good one. That's very... Now explain what you mean by that.
So let's say that we down 3-4 energy drinks. Mm-hmm. Our heart's going to race really quickly. Mm-hmm. We're going to feel physiologically anxious.
And so our mind wants to...
make up a story to match that anxiety.
To kind of explain it. This is why I feel that way.
Yes, exactly. So if I feel off, my body feels off. My mind will say, well, here's the reason. It's her fault. It's her fault that I feel off.
Right. It makes sense. And when you're in that close proximity and maybe you have more anxiety than you typically would, it's normal to say, oh my gosh, I never realized, like, this is what's going on in my family and this is what's happening. And maybe this was there all along and I didn't see it because I was so distracted. And we try to find a way to put anxiety and the depression, the feelings that we might be feeling during quarantine into this little box to make it feel better. So be careful and be mindful to not have your mind match just that maybe you're just generally anxious because of your new normal. And that's the real reason. But your mind's trying to find some sort of solution to have it all make sense.
So you're a hypnotherapist. Mm-hmm. You spend a lot of time in people's minds. You spend a lot of time looking at people's minds from their own perspectives. And when you do that, you've seen that there are patterns that people have, just like I do in psychology. And one of the things we both have come to the conclusion of is this, that when you're racing to make your mind match your body, you can really create a fight. That's why I think what you just highlighted is so important, to be able to have people say, oh, this was here all along.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't there all along. Maybe you just feel really anxious.
Right.
And you're finding it now.
And it's important, I think, in this time to not try to create, to not make life-changing decisions while you're in this specific little difficult bubble. Life will get back to normal. This whole situation that we're going through has a beginning, a middle, and an end. This won't be your forever norm. So don't make life-changing decisions during this time. Use what you learn in this time to gain insight, but don't make the decisions that can change your life in a dramatic way during this time. I think because of that, for sure.
I think that's so important. So that's my first one.
My first one, I really thought that a lot of people are having a hard time accepting this as their new normal. And so that can create almost sort of like a grieving process.
Okay.
And so kind of just assess maybe where you are with that grieving process. When we go through grief, we might be grieving our old lives. So kind of assess where you are. Are you still waking up every day saying, I can't believe this is my new reality. I can't believe this happened. Are you in disbelief? Are you in denial? Are you what stage are you in? And really kind of see and assess and shine light on what stage of grief that you might be in. And I think that can help you.
I think that's really, really important, because what you hit on is people's first thoughts as well. When you wake up, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? What's driving the way you're experiencing your day?
Right.
And you're right. Like if someone wakes up and thinks, oh no, versus, okay, this is my day. I'm alive. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to face this day. That's a big difference between that and, oh no.
And I think the sooner you accept your new normal, the sooner you become, able to just be present and handle, like, this is where we are. no matter what my brain wants to do, no matter how upset I am that this is what it is right now, the sooner you accept that as your new reality, I think the better chance you'll have of just becoming present and moving forward.
So in the terms that I share on this channel a lot, it's a difference between what I call the cartoon world and the real world. And this is about aligning our expectations with the real world. Like you say, it's our new normal.
Yes, it's our new normal. So why not accept our new normal for what it is, knowing that it's temporary.
I like
but
it.
For right now, it's our new normal. So what is your, what's your number 2?
Number 2. My number 2 is to be easy on your loved ones.
That's a good
one. That would be me being easy on her, and that would be her being easy on me.
Right.
Look, in reality, we all struggle. We have a tendency to place a lot of pressure actually on our loved ones, whereas we give ourselves a lot of forgiveness. So if we mess up, if we're short, if we're biting, if we are caustic with our loved ones, we can write it off. We could say, well, there was a reason. Well, obviously there was a reason why I felt this way, whatever.
Sure.
But when you're short with me, then my mind can go to, well, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't.
Right.
So I really believe, so my second piece of advice is this: be easy on your loved ones, because the reality is that you're going through this as equally as I'm going through this, and neither one of our experiences is better or worse than the others.
And we can
it just
be
is what it is.
Different stages, different days. So it's easier for me to see because I see you as a 3D person. I see every action that you're doing. I can see what you're kind of going through, but I may not be able to see that in myself as easily because I'm just in it. So I may be noticing what you're doing, so it's good to really take a step back and see, what am I contributing? What does this person need from me? Am I having a better day today? Can I help out more? Just make sure that, with your whole family system, that you're creating some sort of balance.
I love it. I think that's important. What's your second one?
My second one was, just to be able to define what you're in control of and not in control of. Okay. So right now, all of us aren't in control of a lot of things. When we can leave the house, what might be at the store if we get there, if we're ordering things, if our job's still there, if we have a job that may have closed down temporarily or permanently, those are things that we're not in control of. But what am I in control of? I am in control of how I might react to certain situations. I almost am trying to think of what it's going to look like at the end, and how will I look back on this? How will I be? What will I wish that I would have known that I was in control of, and what energy would I have brought to this situations? I was control of how I thought about things or reacted.
I remember after September 11th, you and I, we were married in November of 2000.
I was seeing if you remembered.
I remembered. November of 2000.
Yeah.
So then when this happened in 2001, we actually had a flight we had to take, and it really shook our world.
Yes.
But I remember there was a specific moment where we were driving into Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was right after the event that had happened, and it was quiet. People were nicer to each other in traffic. And you asked me, well, do you think it'll always be like that? And I said, I believe that at some point we're going to get back to what our normal is, and we're going to get back to the way it is. But you made a really great point about, I think this can change the way we see the world. And you said the same thing recently about this. This can change the way we do things.
I think it would be a disservice to this whole situation if we didn't gain a new perspective. What's going on in the world, how we live our lives, how independent we are, how we look at our families, what we take for granted. I think if we can gain something from this process and have something that we can take with us in a positive way from it, it can start to have meaning and purpose.
So let's come back to your number 2.
Yeah, so what we're in control of. So I'm in control of how I handle certain situations. I'm in control of if I'm not allowed, to maybe leave the house and go out and about and handle my normal daily life. I'm in control of how I respond to that and what I do with my energy or my frustration that I might have. That's in my control. So
something I'm passionate about sharing on this channel and on my website and the things that I put out there is this: whatever you say. So if you choose to say something to this video in the comments section That's you putting information into the universe. That's what you're doing. And so when you highlight, what am I in control of? I think that really helps people stop and slow down and say, what am I doing? Well, what you're doing is whatever your comments are, whatever your questions are, whatever you say and do is adding to the content of the universe. So I love that.
Yeah. Who are you calling throughout the day? Are you checking on people who might not be able to give you anything in return? Are you doing something? Maybe you can buy gift cards to local businesses that are closed right now. What are you doing on your day-to-day that's contributing positively?
I like it. So here's my number 3.
Let me hear it.
Number 3, here it is. Understand that your loved ones' minds can change as rapidly as yours can. So we have a tendency to believe, especially in times when we feel fear, when we feel insecure, when we feel anxious, we have a tendency to believe that we can put everything in a box. So I can say, okay, you tell me however you feel, and now I can say, okay, that's how you feel. But if you change tomorrow, it might irk me or some way, like throw me off because no, wait, you felt this way. Why do you feel this way now? So as much as you and I are changing on an everyday basis, be mindful that our loved ones are as well, and be easy on that.
Right, because I would imagine anyone going through this quarantine or going through this epidemic or pandemic have some sort of good days and bad days. And so knowing that those are going to change and just setting your mindset with the reality, today was a really good day, tomorrow might be an okay day. We may have been able to get outside one day and not another. The kids might be doing something different. There may be different struggles, and those are going to change. So if our expectation isn't, this is now the normal, this person's always going to feel like this, we have the understanding that things are going to change and we're prepared for that.
Here's why this is so important. If in the moment your loved ones are having a good day and you validate that and you jump in on that they're having a good day, they might feel really defensive, and it might seem off at first, but they might feel really defensive thinking, well, now you think everything's perfect for me or everything's easy, and that's not it. So it's the balance
That's
between,
a good point. Yeah,
it's the balance between acknowledging where someone is in the moment, but also creating the space to say you might change in the next moment, and that's okay.
Just acknowledging the wins and being okay if there's a downside too.
Exactly. What's your number 3?
What is my number 3? Oh, my number 3 was to kind of, the sooner you go to accept your new normal, you can kind of start to retrain your brain. So let's say we have no idea how long this is going to go on for. We don't know if we're going to be, not allowed to go out and about for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months. So a lot of times, if I have a client and they have a goal, I'll tell them to set their mindset, maybe further down the road. So on a small scale, if I want to do 20 push-ups, I might tell my mind that I need to do 40. And so 20 becomes a lot easier. And so if I can set my mindset, rather than every day waking up thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do another day. I don't know if I can do one more day. Will this be over in a week? And having that builds anxiety. If I tell my mind, even if I don't believe it just yet, if I tell my mind I'm capable of doing this for a longer period of time, then whatever happens that's shorter is a relief, and then I'm prepared.
So let me really highlight why this is so important. As a hypnotherapist, you constantly talk to their subconscious minds. And so what people saying to themselves, I know you see this, we talk about this all the time, people telling themselves they can't do something really creates a whole vision of themselves that I can't do this. So I've heard you teach this. The emphasis is on what I can do. What can I do? How can I contribute to the world in a better way?
And that scrappiness of the human spirit, it's in there. And if you can, the things that you say to yourself can either enliven that or deaden that. And so just to be mindful with your self-talk and, saying those things like, I'm capable, I'm able to handle this long term. I have the tools that I need, I'm healthy, I'm strong. Like that will and that fight, stronger than anything else you could be doing.
The bottom line is your thoughts are extraordinarily powerful. Be mindful of what you're saying to yourself.
And your energy.
And your energy.
That you're giving to everybody else. Also very important.
Pay attention to what you're saying, what you're doing, the energy that you're giving off. And look, you didn't tune into this video to have me bring my wife on this channel for us not to give you something personal. So I'm going to give you something personal. Yesterday, Kristen said to me, it's beautiful outside. Come outside. It's so beautiful. Hey, take off your shirt. Get some sun. It's so beautiful. And today, I'm a lobster.
You're a lobster.
I just hadn't been outside in so long.
We didn't know if it was going to be sunny again. So we soaked in all the sunshine we could get.
That's right. We stayed outside.
It's okay.
We'll take it. Look, this is not an easy time for anyone, but the bright light out of that dark news is this. You're not in this alone. There are a lot of us that are in this together.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, we are. We're all in this together. And look, we believe that these tips are things that we both sat away and thought about and thought this can be helpful for you. So would love for you to really consider these ideas. If you like them, go ahead and share them. As always, we ask you to subscribe, hit like, and share this video if it's helpful for you. Until next time, as always, we wish you much peace.